Caught up on all the news that's breaking today. Within the last hour and a half, the director of the Secret Service says she is stepping down following the attempted assassination of former President Trump. Kimberly Cheadle, facing bipartisan calls to resign, will leave her post one day after a brutal grilling by lawmakers on Capitol Hill over her agency's massive failure July 13th, when a gunman opened fire on former President Trump at a rally in Pennsylvania. Mr. Trump was wounded, one man was killed, two others were hurt. Cheadle had been with the Secret Service for almost 30 years and had served as director since August of 2022.